It's every day lately. There's some kind of crazy news that's breaking. There it is. The Volatility Shares Trust. This is the headline. Leverage Bitcoin Futures ETF to start trading Tuesday. We're going to dive into what this means, what this is. We're going to talk about it. This is generally, when this happened, this was kind of generally the vibe that I saw on crypto Twitter. Generally. We're going to explore the other part of this, but the SEC has approved the first leverage Bitcoin futures ETF. Crypto Twitter right now, this tweet says. And really, that's kind of what it is. And my initial thought was this. I tweeted, the SEC, yes, that SEC just approved the first leverage Bitcoin futures ETF. This is before even approving a spot Bitcoin ETF. Once again, Gary doing a great job at protecting investors. It's Gary Gensler, the SEC. I don't know. This is my opinion. I don't think... Every time I think they've contradicted themselves enough, they contradict themselves even more. I can't even comprehend. They approved a leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF before approving a spot Bitcoin ETF. And let's talk about the news. And I want to talk about the diverse opinions that are floating around out there in regards to this news. Volatility Shares 2X Bitcoin Strategy ETF will become the first leveraged crypto ETF available in the United States. After the SEC let it go effective on Friday, the regulator has not denied the application for the 2X ETF. It's exciting to see digital assets in the ETF wrapper. That's Stuart Barton. He's the chief investment officer at Volatility Shares. A leveraged 2X ETF allows customers to gain Bitcoin exposure by only putting up half the value of the Bitcoin. This comes in the wake of Bitcoin's value steadily rising past $30,000 after multiple traditional investment companies like BlackRock filed an application for spot Bitcoin ETFs with the SEC. There it is right there. There it is. Traditional investment. Traditional finance. What's going on with that? So here's an opinion. Let me show you corruption in 4K. So that's a question. Is this bullish? Is this good? Or is this corruption? Or is it a mix of both? SEC sues Coinbase. BlackRock then files for ETF through Coinbase. The SEC approves first leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. If you don't think the big hands are playing at something, you're delusional. And that's my thought. I agree with that. There just seems to be too much manipulation right in front of our eyes. John Deaton, he tweeted, he said, I'm not a finance guy and I've never claimed to be. Before I make assumption, is there a legitimate basis to approve a leverage ETF well before a spot ETF? And that was kind of my question in my tweet. It contradicts itself. Caitlin Long, this does not surprise me, her take, warning to federal financial regulators, leverage and Bitcoin do not mix. Period. And I would really have to agree with that. Here's another tweet. Approving a leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF and not approving a spot Bitcoin ETF signals incompetence and no real desire to protect everyday investors. Sad to see. And Wendy, I think, putting kind of the diverse opinions aside for a second, Wendy O over here on Twitter, she ended her tweet with this. It says the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF will most likely be approved. And this kind of speaks into probably a major consensus here across crypto. They've approved this. The fact that this is the headline that they've approved this the leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF. I don't want to assume that it's definite, but it's looking pretty likely they're going to approve the Bitcoin spot ETF. And remember, it wasn't just BlackRock. There were a handful that were recently filed for. And I guess the question is, and I don't have the answer, I don't know. I know my initial thoughts, and I've kind of shared some of them in this video. The question is, though, how bullish is that going to be for Bitcoin? How will this play into traditional finance actually being able to get their hands on Bitcoin? Actually being able to control Bitcoin, manipulate Bitcoin price? Is that in play? What does this do for Bitcoin? The one thing that I do know in terms of Bitcoin and crypto, this is going to be a brand new environment for all of us. This is going to be a brand new, first of its kind cycle How will this cycle play out? This next bull market cycle post 2024 halving that many of us are anticipating. How is it going to play out now? Will it be even more parabolic? Will it be a super cycle, as many people might say, because traditional finance is entering the arena, because institutions have this accessibility now? Is it going to go crazy? Or is this bad? I have no idea how it's going to play out. I'm curious to know your thoughts, everybody. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments about what you think is next for the state of Bitcoin and crypto, the next cycle, what this means for it. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe. Trying to get out this crypto news as it comes, as well as analysis on the charts. And I really do appreciate your support. Hit the like button as well on the way out. It means a lot. I will see you in the next video. God bless.